I
Oh
love the
wow.
patriotic brownstones that were there.
Yeah, I know. It went right through there. Hello, everyone. Hey,
We live in an age where those in power are openly using every weapon at their disposal to impose their will upon the future. Where the principles of authoritarianism and individualism stand in open conflict in the streets, in the courts, in the news, in everyday life. Where the choices we make and the choices that are made for us have consequences no one can foresee. You do not stand alone. You do not fight alone. You do not suffer alone. We are united. We resist. We are here with you. As long as there is a truth that remains hidden, as long as lies are spread openly, we will continue to speak out. We will continue to question. We will continue to be the united resistance.
What do you want to do now, Cap?
The same thing we always do. Fight them until we can't.
oh, that's right. We were fighting them until we can't. Apparently, I'm fighting the intros too because I do a good job of geezering things, and I just geezered one in the middle of the pre-intro into my regular one. But hey, it is what it is. Welcome to episode number 60 of the United Resistance. My God, we're on the 60th episode, you guys. This is
I'm going to come back in 9 episodes and just say nice the whole time.
right, exactly. Yeah,
With an accent or without an accent?
However I feel like saying it at any given time.
I'm thinking of something
My verbal
specific.
schizophrenia, you know.
I'm thinking of something very specific.
well, we have an awesome panel tonight. We've got Tommy, the Devil Pig, Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. Great to see Tommy in the house. We've got the wonderful Janet from Another Planet. Great to see you, honey. Corey is here, aka Sir Talks a Lot Entertainment
What up?
is in the house. And of course, we have Will the Fed, as Tolbat so awesomely coined him. And we have that panel that is an all-star cast as we do every week. And I want to say hello to the folks in the chat. Big John is in the house. What's up, Big John? Trina, our goddess modest, is in the house. What's going on, Trina? We have the one-man show. Reminds me of that 80s wrestler, the one-man gang. It's the one-man show.
Sup,
great,
OMS?
great to see him. He got, and I think this is our alt version of Drunk 3PO. I think it's entertains general works what's going on. It's either that or I doubt that Pinochet's helicopter tours changed his name, but that's that. El Chewbacca Cabra is in the house, and I'm guessing that might be Wook. What's going on there, Wook? Hail to Sean Estep, and it's great to see everybody here. We have also the Immortal Coil.
What is happening, my savage friends? How you doing?
One of Corey and Coil, of course, are my two co-hosts for the Midnight Prism. So make sure that you check out the Midnight Prism on Sundays, and you don't want to miss this Sunday's show. Cheap plug, because we're actually doing a really interesting topic. We're going to do reality versus alternate reality constructs, and I think that is going to be a discussion that you're not going to want to miss. And it's one of those topics that kind of crisscrosses that line between United Resistance and the Midnight Prism. And I love that we're going to talk about that. So I'm looking forward to Sunday. But to kind of get on the topics of today's show, because we didn't get to have a show last week. So, I really felt some type of way about the January 6th footage and the release of that. And we are going to discuss that at length today, as I know that Will, who was also in DC with me on that trip, we each went separately that day down there to kind of get our own perspective on it. But he was there, I was there, and we're going to kind of compare and contrast also with the footage that we've now seen that was not shown and was held away from the American people. And I give credit to Tucker Carlson for showing a lot of it. There was a lot that he hasn't shown, but has been released online, which is good. And we've also had a constant stream of videos, don't forget, from a lot of people that were there that put out their own footage online that shows you what happened. So we've known for a long time about the hole in the narrative. But this time, it's been publicly, I guess, validated, if you will, that you have been lied to. As American citizens, you have been lied to. The January 6th committee is, at the very least, in contempt of themselves for not showing the whole story, which that we know now that committee was a farce. It was fiercely partisan. The, quote, Republicans on it were nothing but rhinos. They were complicit in this withholding and painting of a narrative just to demonize a large swath of the voting public. And that's exactly what this was. And,
did you call on me? Did you call on me, Drew? You said to demonize? Absolutely. We are there to cause havoc. I am on every last one of their shoulders. I am telling them what to do to take control of you so we can take your souls. Well, back to you, Drew.
Hail to Tiny Metal T. And hail, of course, to Tina Bojan. Tina Bojan, of course, was the winner of our giveaway on Midnight Prism last Sunday when we gave away our Yaphet figurine. And we are going to have another giveaway coming up this Sunday for another Yaphet figurine by our friend Andy Masterson. And make sure that you guys show out for that. That'll be fun. And if you want to win one, what you do is you use the exclamation point tip command. And if you tip $20, you are entered into the giveaway for that Yaphet figurine. So if you are a fan,
if you want to improve your chances, what you got to do is you got to give me your firstborn child, and we can almost guarantee that you will win.
Hashtag snag the slime.
Yeah, there you go.
Snag the slime.
Snag the slime. I like it. I like it.
So are you saying they can enter the raffle now, or do they have to wait until Sunday?
No, we can take raffle entries now. If anybody wants to enter ahead of time, we will take down your name and handle, and you will be entered within the raffle. There's a maximum of 3 entries, so like it's $20 an entry. So you can have up to 3, so $60 will get you 3 entries into the
Um,
raffle.
can I ask a question? Where do I drop off my firstborn?
Typically
We
in
will
a
make
dumpster.
arrangements for that. If we have to, we can send demons to your doorstep to pick that child up.
Well,
They have bins at the
I'll be in
parking lot,
line.
the mall,
Yeah,
shopping lot.
dumpsters
I think
usually
those
work.
will do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dumpsters work fine. Trust me.
I was talking
Hail,
about donation bins, not dumpsters, but whatever.
hail,
It's all
hail,
the same, I guess.
hail to Keely Chow. What's going on, Keely? Great to see you. As is Dwayne Erickson. Welcome. Great to see you, Dwayne, and great to see Rita in the chat as well. Thank you guys for both for being here.
Iowa rules.
Now, before we get into the main topic at hand, I want to kind of talk about the subject of illegals, and this came this kind of came about because I had an interesting experience happen this past week where over the weekend, I want to say this was what was it, Will? Like Friday?
Okay, so Friday. Yes, because I talked to you on Saturday. That's what you told me.
Okay. So this was this past Friday over the weekend, and what happened was, I had one of my lady friends here. My friend Lyric was here. I was actually standing in the doorway of my bedroom. She was laying on the bed watching TV, and she and I were talking about, just getting food, whatever. And next thing she knows, out of the corner of her eye, she looks toward my back window and she's like, I thought I saw someone out there, Drew. And I'm like, what? And so then my cat Gambit goes and was like frantically pawing at the window. And Lyric like grabs Gamby. She's like, Gamby, get down. Don't want people to see him because, yeah, indeed, there was a person in my yard, and it was a Mexican gentleman that was standing there. He had prominent Mexican features, the full mustache, very short, stocky.
But the most important thing, Drew, you could really tell if he's a Mexican if he is followed up by a mariachi band.
Well,
Well, what I was going to say is that, short and stocky, I mean, we're talking about a guy up there that can identify his own. So I'm going to go with what he says.
Well, the thing that alarmed me was, first off, this guy was standing in my backyard, and I didn't know why in the hell this dude was out there. And then about 30 seconds later, a woman comes into the backyard.
And was she the one carrying the box of chiclets to sell out in front of your house?
Well, no, you would think that, I mean, if these people are going to be in my yard and they're Mexicans, you would think they would have like yard tools, or they would have a food truck out front.
Burro.
Bottles of
What a
tequila.
burro.
But
Because they're Mexicans.
but the thing is, okay, like
This is some actual footage from Drew's doorbell cam.
Okay.
Thanks, Quill. So anyways,
Oh my goodness.
So anyways, the bottom line of it is they're casing the back of my house. They're standing out there looking at like where my screened-in porch area is, and the lady just starts to actually walk up to the door, and I'm thinking, oh my God, are these people trying to force their way in? And at that point, that's when it turned to where
you opened up the door and you just yelled "La migra, la migra," and they ran away.
No, my friend was scared, and I said, all right, I'm gonna put a stop to this shit now. So I go and grab the Smith & Wesson. you know,
It's not
and
anything
I
like you think it is.
and I walked outside because I started to see the people walking around toward the front of the house, and you know, they had a vehicle parked outside. They had like a red SUV, something like that, parked outside. And I said, look, you know, I told the guy, what do you want? Why are you on my property? And he said, oh, you know, in broken English, he said, I saw a sign in the yard. Is the house for sale? I said, yes. The sale it's already under contract. And that's all that needs to be said about it. It's off the market at this point. You know, and he said, what was the price it was sold for? And I said, you know, $155,000.
I still don't know why you told him the price.
You know, well, the interesting thing is you know, I told him the price. He gets, he's like, oh yeah, thanks.
Like, what if he had said to you, "I'll double it"? You know,
he's like begging off because the guy clearly sees that I have, you know, a 9mm on my hip. He didn't miss that bad. So he goes and you know, he starts getting in the vehicle. The woman gets in the vehicle, and you know, they kind of sit there for a second. I walked around to the back of their vehicle, and they had a one of those tinted license plate covers on there. So I was still able to get up close enough. I saw through it, and I got the license plate number. And as soon as they pulled away, I called the police, and I told them, you know, hey, listen, I had these people on my property, and they were looking around and peering in the windows and such. And the bottom line of it is, we heard about back towards the back half of last year, those migrant flights, and people tried to write it up as conspiracy theory and this and that. Again, calling us conspiracy theorists, but clearly people were taking footage of these flights landing in these different northern states, in these different northern towns. And people, and look, these illegals are being taken from the border to our backyards. All right? This is happening in the north, folks. This is not just a southern border thing. They are moving these people up from the southern border into the northern states. And it was, I saw it with my own two eyes, because now I'm a part of seeing that on my property. And you guys remember the footage on Twitter where that lady, I believe it was in Texas, had those people just, you know, those 4 or 5 migrants walk on her property, you know, those illegals walk on her property, try to gain entry to her home, and she had to shoot a couple of them.
Well, the laws about squatters' rights are very ambiguous as well. I used to work for a company where we went and flipped houses, and the houses that had squatters there, we had no recourse to work on the house, regardless of what the city said, because it was a whole big political kerfuffle. So you might have dodged a bullet there, buddy.
Well, Terminus has said, did you just say that illegals were chasing?
We heard about the bong.
Well, I wanted to ask a question about that. So what is your recourse to keep them from squatting on your property? I mean, how do you stop them? You can't.
Wait, no.
Well, for one, you know, I'm still living here until the sale is complete, and I'm present on the premises. And I also have you know, hollow points that say you're not going to come on my property.
Well, I know
that is the trick.
I know you're home, but what
in
if
your house?
someone
once
else
they squat in your house, Janet, then you have an Amber Heard situation, and that's very hard to clean up.
What I mean is, let's say like Drew was in the same process, but he had already moved out, and these people come and they break in the back door and they squat in the living room and put a bunch of stuff in there. How does that affect what's going on with his home sale? You see what I mean? I'm
Well,
asking a legitimate question about what could happen to someone like that in Drew's position.
Once that happens, that really it's going to be left up to the buyer at that point.
I was going to say,
And they are essentially going to be screwed because that is a long and lengthy process that you have to go through with the court system to be able to get those people out of there.
Right, because and Cheetah Bojan makes a point. A busload of immigrants was dropped off in the middle of the town next to mine a couple months ago. They had to house them in a hotel temporarily, and that's unfortunately a story that is repeating itself in a bunch of places. And yes, Andrew Tate's General Awards. We will be talking about the banks here very shortly.
Before we move on to that, have you guys heard about the recent developments in immigration between Canada and the U.S.?
No.
Okay, so the U.S. is
ahead,
actually in talks with Canada right now to close the northern border to stop anyone from coming from the U.S. into Canada in any way, shape, or form that is illegal. What they're even talking walls and fences.
So Canada cares whether they get illegals, but our country doesn't.
Our side is actually who would be putting up the fences.
I know.
Well,
we're putting fences up
on the wrong border.
Northern.
So, yeah, we open the southern. Yeah, we open the southern border and then close the northern border, and eventually we're just inundated with refugees all over the place, thinking they can get the American dream for free.
We're paying for a fence between us and Canada to keep the people coming over the southern border from going up and going into Canada.
Anyone, really?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we're paying for Ukraine, we're paying for all this stuff, and now we're just gonna build a fence that we won't build down on the southern border. Yeah, that's really smart. That's exactly fits.
Man, honestly, Will, with that reverb, I barely understand a thing you're saying right now, bro.
Maybe I was wrong.
It's definitely the room. I want to come in there and I want to record some music. Like, that's how nice that is. I mean,
there's no other rooms that are better than this, are there, Drew?
Yeah, it's all going to be like that because we have a pretty empty house here, dude. Well, here's the thing, guys. Little behind the scenes for you. Will's actually over at my house right now. He's just upstairs. So,
this is the room I'm in right now, folks.
Yeah.
See, nothing. Two windows, an empty closet, and some eggshell white walls.
Well,
can you do some
Can
falsetto?
He just sit by you? Can he come downstairs and just sit by you, Drew, and be on the same floor?
We can, unless you want feedback, sure.
Will, move everything that you're doing right now into the closet.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. I used to do that to cut back reverb on my voiceovers.
Give me a second.
Yeah. All right.
Like I should be sitting in the closet facing out. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it actually will cut down on a lot of the reverb.
Okay. All right. While Will sets up,
we
will. Yeah, I did. So the thing is that I wanted to say though is, the immigrant, the illegals, and it's not the fact that if they come to the country, look, yeah, everybody is, I think, on board with the process. All right. If you go through the process legally, yes, you're welcome. Everybody is entitled to that. But these people are being ushered in for a very specific reason, and that is to create a voting base, and for them to, they're being given favors and bribes essentially for the reason of voting in these disastrous policies. Correct. And
yes.
One man show says, laptop mic, boxing won't work. Never mind.
It's finally coming back to bite me in the ass.
Yeah.
It's
definitely not as bad,
yeah.
Will. That's very good. it did kind of stem the tide.
Always listen to the devil pig. I have your best soul's interest at heart.
Oh gosh, the Time Prophet says I would come on the channel, but at this present time I'm in Drew's bathroom, man. Everybody's gonna. There's the thing now.
Honestly, that might not be such a bad idea.
Everybody's gonna be in on the joke. The next thing Trina's gonna say, "Hey, I'm in Drew's bathtub," and Sean Estep is gonna be like, "Hey, I'm hanging out on the front lawn."
You know what? I'm just happy that after all this is over, Will will finally come out of the closet.
Well, I'm on my way over. I'm gonna hang out
a steak out before
at the taco truck out front.
Oh my gosh!
I never poured a steak out before. This is gonna be fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
Janet said she's gonna hang out at the taco truck out front. Oh my god!
Fiesta at Drew's house. Everybody, be sure to be there with a bottle of tequila.
Look says Venezuelan immigrants don't vote Democrat. You're right, they don't. You know, the thing of it is though, with to close out that story is Tina Bojan says, "Shh, I tried to pin under the desk, but with the Drew's tongue, it's no room."
Look at Trina wrote. Read what Trina wrote.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
I'm finally living out my dream of being the muse to the world.
Janet's gonna be in the kitchen because I'm not cooking.
Okay, I can cook. I'm good at cook. I can cook some things.
Oh man!
But that doesn't mean you're gonna want to eat.
No,
Drew. One of the most
I can't even put a wig on him. Go ahead.
One of the most irritating things about this whole immigrant situation, and it really does, it burns my ass. The stupidity of these people. They just want to hand these people a free pass to just come right over into the country. And they actually sit there and they don't realize that they're disrespecting everybody else that went through the proper channels to try to get into this country.
Yes.
My grandfather came over to this country from Hungary at 12 years old. He had practically no family over here. He had to learn the language. He had to present to them a skill that he would be able to do to be able to acquire work when he became of age. He had to go through an awful lot. He had to change his name because my last name, Tyler, that's not my real name. That's my American given name through my grandfather. So all those people that had to go through it the right way, they're just pissing on everything that they had to do to get here. There's nothing wrong with immigrants coming in and just do it the right way. I worked with a number of guys that came over from Prague and other places in Russia, and they told me how they spent hundreds of thousands of dollars through visas to be able to try to get into this country. So you're just slapping all those people in the face saying, screw you, we're just going to let anybody in that we feel like letting in. And everything that you went through and the struggles that you had to undertake to get here mean absolutely shit to us.
They do.
That is the most disgusting aspect of it.
They don't care. They could care less what you went through.
And what makes a great point, and look, we're not trying to turn this racial. I want everybody on the stream to understand we're not trying to turn this into a racial thing, but the old Ellis Island, sort of concept of immigration has been bastardized. What they've done now has taken, and they've skirted the laws specifically. This is now a component of destabilization, and that's exactly what it's being used for.
They've also made it much harder for legal immigrants to get through the system quickly.
Yeah.
And
it's
that causes a problem.
Corey.
Yeah.
Well, do you think it has anything to do with Canada's people wanting to move to America? So they're building the wall too to keep people from leaving Canada?
They haven't said that directly, but I have no doubt that they're trying to stop people
I
from
know
leaving.
3 people who have moved right as the pandemic was getting going to get out to different states, and have 2 of them have now become naturalized citizens, because they went through the process, but they're thankful they got out of Canada. I was born in Canada myself. I was born in Newfoundland. So.
I'm just going to say that, like, with Andrew Tate's saying right here. You know, it says it took his wife 4 years. That is ridiculous. 4 years is way too long for someone who is clearly qualified to be in the country to get nationalized.
Because
exactly.
they have to take classes and all kinds of things to become get a citizenship that way. But just letting them wander over the border and then handing them a driver's license is a lot easier and cheaper way to come to our country.
Well, you
Not
have
to
to
mention
look
they have
at
to pass a citizenship test that I myself, I'm not speaking for any of you, I probably passed.
yeah. Well,
I couldn't
here's-
pass it.
If you want to see a small glimpse into what some of the people actually had to do to come over to this country at one time, watch what is that called? On the Hudson.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's
Robin
a very
Williams.
good. Yeah, that's
was really good.
very
I've seen
good. Very good movie. You know, it just because I want to move on to the next topic, guys, but as we wrap this up, I just want to say, look, you know, we understand that again, this is the complicity lies with not only the left, but also all those sellouts on the damn right that claim to be one way, but they are selling out our country. They are part of the uniparty. They are part of the problem. And until, you know, we get the rot out of our leadership, they're going to continue to do the bidding of the people that are really pulling the strings, which are you guys know exactly who that is. And as we move into the next topic, let's kind of go on that, because the next thing I want to touch on is the banks, because that is the major elephant in the room right now. We know the very latest with the SVB bank going down. We also know that a number of the other ones are hanging precariously. And Biden came out and gave this bullshit speech where he said, oh, no taxpayer dollars are going to be used on this, which again is a joke, because you know the first thing that they're going for is the bailout. They're going for the fucking bailout. And look, I called this on the Prism on Sunday because Coyle was there, and I said their controlled demolition of the banking structure, if that doesn't work, the next thing that is coming is going to be the cyber attack, and that will happen in the next 3 to 6 months. I can promise you that. You can take that to the bank, no pun intended.
Did you guys also hear about the fact that Biden is now, through executive orders, pushing for a digital currency of the U.S. dollars? Yeah,
Yes.
it'd be great.
Absolutely.
He literally did that like a couple days, like signed another executive order towards that end, like a couple days before this bank went down.
Yes, absolutely. That's what they're trying to do. You know, and hail to Helam, and hail to Austin Lund. It's great to see you. You know, and to Helam, I wish it was part distraction, but it's part of the operation. And the operation being to get us to that digital currency, because they need to tighten down the control very quickly, because the rapid rate that people are becoming awake. You know, and it doesn't help after we move on from the banks, where we talk about get into the January 6th footage, that really was a bombshell that dropped, and people saw the exact psyop and demonization op that was.
Well,
And
you know,
so,
Drew, I think a lot of people are missing the importance of this. I mean, I know so many things are done online already. So many purchases are made online. But see, what you got to understand is once you move to a complete and total control of digital currency by the government, where they get to overlook everything, now they get to scrutinize every single thing you do. Everything will be scrutinized. All those like simple purchases that some people might make out at a flea market, or some people might go to a local grocer or a local farmer and buy product, that's going to be out the window, because now all those purchases are going to be made digitally, which means that they're going to be able to charge taxes on all that shit on top of it, because you know they will. Absolutely. And the biggest thing that most people are not looking into this by saying, oh, well, it's not that bad because so many things are done online. Who do you think that this is going to affect the most? It's going to affect the average person in a way that they don't even see, because it affects the criminal element. The criminal element is no longer going to have that ability to use cash to be able to do everything they want to do. When they no longer have that option, what do you think that they are going to do? They're going to start breaking into people's houses more and robbing people to get what they want, because now they can't do it through illicit means where the government can't track them anymore. Mm-hmm. This is the biggest danger to them move into a full digital currency.
It's not just that. All the little mom and pop businesses that don't go over to digital because they have to pay whatever amount of money to set it up. I mean, just to do the Square on your phone, you know, they've raised the rates on that. So the smaller businesses that are like that, like the little food trucks and things like that, they're all going to go belly up because they can't afford to change over to not cash, stuff like that. So I'm just saying. And then when they'll say, well, you're eating too many fat foods, we're not going to let you purchase this, and you're going to the doctor too much, or you're drinking too much alcohol, or you're smoking cigarettes. All those things they're going to.
You said this on Twitter. You can't have bread.
Yeah, yeah.
There was a thing just recently where they were showing how in China, if you jaywalk, they will put your face up on an electronic billboard, show everybody, immediately debit your account through electronic means. So one of the big threats is non-compliance. If you don't play by the rules, they'll just shut your shit down.
Yes, they can do whatever they want and blame it on non-compliance. That is what is scary about the entire thing. And what brings up a great point right here. And I agree with them wholeheartedly. Look, I am a believer, all right? And, you know, Wook is not the biggest Bible thumper in the world, but global currency is one of the specific things in the book of Revelation that's not a metaphor. And he is exactly correct about that. You know, that is one of the hallmarks that, you know, the end is definitely on the periphery.
One world government.
Yes. Time Prophet says criminals will have to barter.
That's what I try to tell people all the time. Every time you use your debit card, it's putting a notch towards digital. I tell people, go into the bank, get cash. You know, I'm not saying drain your bank accounts, but get cash to purchase things and to set up accounts with like your local farmers market. And get to know the farmers and stuff around you, to where maybe you can cut hair or sew or change the oil or whatever and barter for different things. Whenever it does become where you can't get things that you need to have certain other ways of means set up to where you'll be able to get some of the things you need without having to use digital.
I like what Tiny Metal Tree said, because the idea of America is non-compliance. That's what it's supposed to be. Why we're here is we live in a free country, a supposed free country. Terminus S says, I can clearly see all sorts of ways they would be able to control us through a CBDC. We won't be allowed to buy guns, for one. Exactly. You know, because they're not. That's exactly why they want this. They can skirt the Second Amendment very easily by just shutting down your ability to purchase through a digital currency. So you won't be able to buy a firearm.
And not just that.
Not
when
legally.
You don't go through their way of purchasing things and they find out you bought one under the table, you can go to prison. And then they can take your house and give it to whoever they want, drain your bank accounts and give it to the government. So this is going to give them even more control over being able to take out the people that are non-compliant by finding a way that you broke the law.
Yeah, and Sci-Fi Nation makes a great point. He said, look, Star Trek has a one world government, and how many people want that future? Yes, that was painted in utopia. But even Roddenberry, to a degree, knew the difference in the world, that was, you know, fiction for a reason. And you know, so many people, yes, it's a promising utopian future, but that's not going to happen. We know that through two reasons: human nature, and also the fact that, you know, evil is a very real thing, and the objective evil that we're facing are these people that consider themselves God, and they are only mortals, but they consider themselves gods, and they consider themselves the arbiters of what you can and can't do, what you can and cannot buy. And that to me is, authoritarianism in its very, very pure form right there.
Yeah, Sci-Fi Nation brings up another good point there, where it's moving beyond materialistic ways, and there's absolutely no way our society could ever do that. There's no way. We're wrapped up in materialism. Like that's why they call it consumerism, because you're feeding yourself with all this empty bullshit.
The Small Time Republic says, I tried to go to a high school football game last fall. Had to get my ticket online through an app. It's impacting everything. It is. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'll tell you a very quick thing about the last time Will and I went to a Browns game. If you go to, for example, and this happens at a lot of stadiums around the NFL, if not mostly all of them. Now, Will and I went to First Energy Stadium, and everything there is done by card. You cannot pay cash at any of the stands, at any of the kiosks, anything. It is all done digitally by card. You cannot pay cash.
They're actually starting to do that at zoos here in Colorado.
Yeah.
So directly attacking the family once again, because kids love the zoo. Parents love the zoo. It's a great time. Even if you don't enjoy, being around that many people, it's a good time at the zoo. But if they digitalize that, then that forces everyone that loves to go to the zoo, which is a lot of people, to get that digital, pay method.
Tina brings up a great point. She said ammunition is good for bartering.
Yeah, I'm keeping mine. Every
and
bullet I get.
Won't be much of a negotiation that way.
Yes. Soul Assassin.
Real quick, Drew.
Go ahead.
We get too far away from it. I know Corey was talking about materialistic and everything like that, and how we can't get away from it. Really, if you look at it though, Corey, in essence, all of life is materialistic. Somebody has a skill that you don't have that you need. That's still materialistic in a way, because it's a skill that you possess that they need. So
this is true, but we practice superficial materialism these days, not survival-based materialism. So it's still incredibly different society than anything that.
Well, you look at the young people at the mall. You just have to walk through the mall and watch everyone. They're buying food with their cards. They're on their phones.
They're buying it all with their phone.
Yeah, they're buying it. They're just scanning their phone or their little watch, their Apple Watch. Everything is digital, and they got their Gucci bags and their whatever that mom and dad bought them. And then they got their cute little cars that mom and dad paid for. They use Uber drivers. They do all this. It's already almost all digital now. And there's selfies and this and that. They're all materialistic, and it all can go through digital. They don't have to.
Remember last time.
At all.
Remember last show, guys, when we talked about the 15-minute cities and the idea that they want everything to move to services. And then what does that do? Well, the people that are trapped on the outskirts, the people that are trapped in the poor areas of the city are essentially left out of society, because what do they do? It's really, really insidious. All of this stuff, but it boils down to, again, the move for depopulation.
Yeah, just think about it. You move into a 15-minute city, right out of college, and they give you a job in there in one of the businesses, and they put this little tattoo on your wrist, and you scan your way into into the city. And once you're in there, you scan your wrist for your food, for your banking, for everything, every little thing that you have to do in your 15 minutes from your little apartment or your condo or whatever it is. You scan your wrist.
They'll feel like they never left college.
It'd be all that simple. And all the young people that are like on their phones and running around, everything's, I gotta have this and to get ready to go to this and go to that.
Instant
That's
gratification.
exactly what they want. They get their pizza, they come to the door, they deliver it, and they scan their wrist. Then they go inside and eat, and the pizza guy leaves, and he's got his money on his digital thing. So I'm just saying, the young people are going to, every person that I think about during this whole thing, I'm sorry to be ranting about it, but I think of all these people that you still see driving down the road wearing a mask, walking down the street by themselves, outdoors wearing a mask. All those people will be the first ones with the thing on their wrist to live in the 15-minute city.
Well, listen, obviously every way of governance has its pros and cons: capitalism, communism, socialism, the whole 9 yards. But listen, the system that we're in, that America was founded on, the capitalist system, yes, does it have a lot of issues? It does, but at the same time, it also best supports a functional society. And and as Trina makes the point, I see it as my money and I spend it how I want. And yeah, we got to be careful of the slippery slope of arguing for and against materialism, because Corey made the exact point. There's a certain level of materialism that covers need, that covers our essentials, food, shelter, water, and utilities, so on and so forth. But when you get past that, I think it's more of a self-check where you live to where you're at a comfort level, but most people live to a comfort level and not to extravagance. And then there are the people that are out and out materialists in the sense of going for extravagance, and those I think are a lot of what has taken over, with the sense of, especially those in the globalist bloodline that are trying to control us. Those are the people that know nothing but extravagance and are trying to weed out the weak, per se, and get rid of us. So welcome to ETEP, man. What's going on, dude?
Hey, man, it's good to be back. I hail this wonderful panel in this amazing chat. Yeah, sorry, Tuesdays have been kind of hectic for me, so it's good to be able to actually be here. I got the munchkin on enough sleeping pills to lay out King Kong Bundy. No, I just gave him his melatonin and read him some Star Wars, and he's passed out. So what shadowy three-letter agency are we talking about? How they're screwing us over this week?
Well, that's it's funny because
it's yard Mexicans.
Before you got here, ETEP, I was relaying the story about having to essentially chase illegals off my property, and I ended up probably offending most Mexicans, and the people that play this stream back I'll probably get called.
I think I can point to the moment too.
Yeah, I'll probably get called a racist at some point for this stream.
Where are you broadcasting from?
The shitter.
He's actually upstairs. He's at my house.
He's in.
Okay, I was like,
and that's why, because look,
I wasn't incarcerated. It wouldn't be this bright.
I was gonna say, are you in like a 4x8 there or something?
We put him in the closet, ETEP. We were going to try to put him in the bathroom, but we didn't have nobody over there to force him in.
Will told his cellmate, "Don't come over here for an hour. I'm streaming, man. Keep making the toilet Merlot, homie."
He's gonna stay up there and think about what he's done.
Yeah. Tatsu Sama, the reason the house is like this right now, and listen, folks, I know it's not optimal, but I'm in process of in about another 15 days, hopefully wrapping up the sale of the house and trying to move on to bigger and better things. So yeah, that's the thing here. So it's not optimal right now. Most everything is in the storage facility, but it is what it
To
is.
put it more simply, every room in this house is empty. Every room is an echo room.
Yeah, every room is an echo room.
Hey,
What
Drew.
can we do about that?
Wait,
Drew,
Will, say I'm the great and powerful Oz.
Big John, he said, just wait until they force people on Social Security or disability to go digital. They already did.
Yep, they already
They
have.
already did.
Big John, your food stamp card here functions like a chip card, like a debit card.
Mhm.
So that happens here. Tatsu-sama, if I could do that, I actually would, but I can't because technically it's not my house anymore.
If anything, we're squatting.
Yeah.
All right, Keely Chow.
Yeah,
He was
what?
way too classy to make a fucking Friday Night Tights moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
The stream couldn't handle that.
No, dude. It would just be like a big, block on the camera. Nobody would know.
Big old flesh color blur.
Yeah, it's a flesh colored blur at that point.
Crash to
That
the floor
happened.
and whack Will upside the head.
We had a Friday Night Tights episode on my member stream last night. Nelson the Gentleman whipped out a banana and it was all black and we were like, Jesus, should it look like that? Like, you should probably go to a clinic. Like, I mean, you're pretty white, all things considered, bro. Like,
You think it would be the same though if a woman flashed her boobs as it is for a penis?
There's only one way to find out, Janet.
Well,
all
right now.
Hey, I already did that once for Drew on his birthday, but it wasn't. It was presents, but
Yeah.
She had ribbons.
Is
And
May
bows.
13th a
I
Tuesday?
had both. I had presents on my boobs.
All right. Let me
Boxes.
let me move. Etep, just real quick, I want to get your take before I move on. Before I move on to the next topic.
He's dying.
Yeah.
He can't do it.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just thinking of titty boxes with ribbons and bows.
What was
Go on.
What was your take on the whole bank thing and the ensuing speech by Biden saying, "Oh, it's not going to take any taxpayer dollars."
Yeah, that's just the government saying, "Hi, we're from the government. We're here to help." Oh shit, hide your wallets. That's basically. Oh, it goes in your bud. That's basically my take. They're gonna. It's 2008 all over again, except the U.S. is in far worse shape now than were then. And I remember the bank collapse and all that shit. I mean, that's how I lost my job.
Then who is the vice president then?
Oh, Darth Vader. I mean, Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
the Emperor, Dick Cheney.
It's just what's really important now is that for those of you keeping track of all the words that have been redefined, it's not bailout, it's emergency maneuver. Take notes.
Emergency measures. Yeah.
Sorry, fuck that up. All right, emergency measures.
Take care. They want to take care of all the sheeple.
Exactly. I want to get
Goat my office.
Yeah, I want to get
That's nothing.
I want to get to the next topic while Corey's here because we have to. I want to cover the January 6th footage, so we'll move on to that. But just to put the bank stuff to bed, yeah, this is ETEP was definitely on point. This is 2008 all over again. Only, like I said, folks, keep watch because if the controlled demolition of the banks doesn't work, the cyber attack will happen. It'll be blamed on Russia, and that's what they will use to usher in digital currency. So either way, you're going to be fucked and funneled into the digital currency. So just be ready. That's all I'm saying. All right.
Drew, one more thing, if I may. The only similarity, that is the only similarity really between this and 2008, because in 2008, They waited to do the bailout until after the inevitable housing crash. They're waiting for the inevitable housing crash to happen after the bailout this time.
Yeah, exactly. Thank God I sold my house when I did. Now, moving on to the January 6th stuff.
Mhm.
I was there. Will was there. You know, the footage that we took, yeah, I wasn't on scene proper when all the chaos broke out at the very front of the Capitol building and also inside. But I can tell you, and from the footage I took, and it's proven that that crowd was a mostly peaceful crowd, and it absolutely was. The footage that I've shared on Twitter, you can clearly see what was happening. There were people marching, they were chanting, there was no hint of violence whatsoever. And the thing that pissed me off the most was the fact that mainstream media grabbed what they wanted. This was orchestrated. It was a honey trap, honey trap that was meant to demonize a large swath of the voting public. The FBI was in on it. The foot soldiers of Antifa, BLM were in on it. They employed every single thing in order to pull this off because that was their gotcha moment. That was exactly what it was, no more, no less. And once it got into the government side, into the legislation aspect, the January 6th committee, which was farcical in its own creation, turned it on its head because they are the ones that cherry picked footage in order to cause further damage. Now, the first person I want to give a sort of opportunity to chime in on this, because I know he has to take off, is Corey. Corey, you have the floor, sir.
All right. So with the new J6 footage that's come out, are you going to show some of that?
I don't want to really repost footage because I don't want to do it for copyright. But let's just say, you know, the Jacob Chansley footage and the other stuff.
So to break it down, to break it down real quick, you know, we're seeing footage of people inside the entrance of the Capitol with earpieces. Once you actually see the angles, you're like, wow, that's actually an earpiece. I've worn those on occasion, and I'll tell you, you don't wear those for fun. So just, you know, them actually pulling people into the building, helping them get in and stuff, and, you know, supposedly becoming whistleblowers afterwards or some shit. Then we're also seeing, like, the footage of, what do they call him? The shaman or whatever the headed guy.
Jacob Chansley.
He was literally led on a guided tour through the Capitol before anything else went down by the security forces of the Capitol. They weren't like, you know, they were like walking around, chit-chatting with each other, just talking and stuff. And he's just like strolling. He's like, this is pretty cool.
At no point did they treat that man as a threat.
Yeah, and he's in jail for how long because of this?
4 years.
4 years. 4 years.
Yep.
Yeah, gross misuse of power. And yeah, this is also just another huge I feel like they're thumbing their nose at us.
This is what they did to us.
Yeah, they're totally giving us the bird simply for the fact that they're like, oh, look, you were right, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yep, that's exactly it. You know, and Corey, I know that you have to take off. Thank you for staying over a couple extra minutes, and let me let you do the outro, sir.
All right. Hey, I'm Corey of Talks A Lot Entertainment here on YouTube. Talks A Lot Gaming over on Twitch. Right now we're focusing on a build-your-own narrative gaming of The Adventures of One-Eyed Wong. It's Wolong the Fallen Dynasty, which the base story and stuff I find droll, so I've decided to make my hero One-Eyed Wong, and he talks shit like a New Yorker. It's fantastic. So yeah, I do that live almost every night. Tonight there's another episode, a new episode of The Adventures of One-Eyed Wong. what I do is I also put on some of my famous voiceover work, you know.
Where is his countryman? Wa Hung Lo.
Yeah, I thought about doing the Chinese voice, but I was like, you know, maybe I'll save that for a different character. Like,
Where is
saying.
Wee Tu Lo?
But yeah, it's a good time. I throw on that sweet The Adventures of One-Eyed Wong, and you know, it's a good time. I do all the music custom for each episode and stuff like that. There's a playlist if you want to catch up on them. It's great. They're only 20 to 30 minutes long. Boss fights are only 6 minutes long because it takes me an hour to get through a boss. But just saying. Until next time, guys, stay sexy, don't get murdered, and as always, have a wonderful time.
Take it easy, Corey.
Bye,
Hey,
Corey.
See you, man.
Bye.
Okay, two things, just real quick, two things. First of all, Drew, it is amazing how, and I never thought I'd see an Asian do a caricature of an Asian. And also to Corey, as a native New Yorker, I may tune in because I can't wait to see you back that up.
Well, the thing is, with going back to to the J6 stuff, I gotta. What do you got? What's so funny, dude?
It's something obvious.
It's something from Small Time Republic.
Not that I'm saying Small Time Republic is obvious, but you know. You took the easy way out on this one, man. I got.
Where's Small Time Republic's cohort, Banana Republic?
Yeah. All right.
You got a Small Time Republic and a Banana Republic. Come on, really? Nobody? That's fucking. I give you people. That's it. I'm leaving.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. I got
jokes, folks. Lots of them.
I got to run Mexicans off my property, sci-fi. You got to run meth heads off yours. Have a good one. All right, but the thing is, in hail to my dude Angela Straven, what up? You know, Keely Chow said the female cops in Tennessee are pretty easy.
Did you see she was gonna sue? I was groomed into having sex with all those other cops. It's like, no, you're a whore. Your gash is like a double-bladed axe, sweetheart. You have a mattress on your back. You're just a whore. Those guys didn't make you. You did that shit willingly.
I tell you what, ETEP, my wife, works for Florida Highway Patrol. I've talked about that a few times. This is dispatch.
Yeah.
My God, was that the running joke in the dispatch control room for like 2 months because they knew everything about it before it happened? And they were laughing about it before it happened. And when it hit the news, they were laughing even more. I think they're still giggling to this day over it.
I heard something about that. I heard that her nickname was Airtight.
It used to be.
Yeah, it used to be. But to get back on topic, honestly, with the J6 stuff. I mean, just the amount of footage that was kept from the American people. And look, both sides have cherry picked. I want to be fair here because both sides have cherry picked both for and against. Mm-hmm. But the truth of what happened that day is certainly different than what was presented by the J6 committee, by everything else. And a large number of the people in that DC gulag are being held unconstitutionally and unfairly because their punishments are not commensurate with whatever crime that they had, whether it be misdemeanor trespassing, whether it be some vandalism, things of that nature. Then yes, they should have to pay a fine, do community service, perhaps do some time if they broke something that was valuable, whatever. But the people that were that stepped foot in the Capitol that didn't do anything wrong, or the people that were outside or anything else, just for being on the steps, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, I can't
And-
understand how they can charge them with trespassing when they were let in. I mean, there's video showing them opening the doors and letting the people in. So anyone that went in and destroyed property, yeah, if they destroyed property, they should get arrested. But just for going into the building that was let in by guards, I don't think they should be charged for trespassing. They were
There's a
let
lot
in.
more
the building.
video of people being, as a result of the recent video that's come out. There's a lot more video of them being let in. Originally, there was a lot more video. A major majority of the videos were of like a handful of pirated shots of people breaking into the building, and there were a few of them.
Yeah, and they're
showed
on
the shots
video.
on the
So the
loop.
ones
They
who
knew
broke
who's
the
going
window
in.
and crawled
They showed
in,
you.
those should
You
be
think it's just one by one, a line of hundreds of people
charged for
that
that.
were going through the same 3 windows.
Yeah, you know, in a lot of it in ETEP, I know that you probably saw the footage of this because you keep up on stuff pretty good. You saw that the whole narrative surrounding Brian Sicknick and the fact that they were trying to tell you that the fact that they were trying to tell you to your face, folks, that this cop died, and also that 5 other cops died on that day was completely false.
I believe the statement was, 5 lots of Capitol Police were killed that day. Man, there was Brian Sick guy hit in the head, man. And
yeah, like seriously, like he got hit in the head with a fire extinguisher and died. They're like, no, he died days later of totally unrelated causes. And we have him here. Here's Brian Sicknick on video, walking around absolutely fine after the alleged timestamp that the incident occurred when he got hit in the head with a fire extinguisher. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. It's all made up. And they're like, oh yeah, my favorite. If you guys see on Twitter, I go hard in the paint on these Democratic operatives like Erica Marsh, who's a Fed, and Brooklyn Dix. And Brooklyn Dick Sucker Defiant, who got his name from not paying his from being a deadbeat dad. So he's defiant. So these people, they want to, he's been a lot about the January 6th. And I will either get this jack off to number 1, acknowledge me in his comments, or number 2, block me. Because every time he posts something stupid, I'll come back with something that's fact-based, but I still call him a fucking retard every time I do it, because he is. This man is a piece of shit. And just like the top down, Joe Biden on down, all his little Muppets, Karine Jean-Pierre, that loudmouth fucking moron with her binder full of ums and ohs and uhs and Peter, that's just a lie. The president has shown you, if you watch, you'll see. If you watch, you'll see. Shut up, bitch. Shut up. You're dumber than Jen Psaki, who had to circle back to every wrong answer that came out of her cock trap. And Eric Swalwell, this piece of shit talking about no. When Feng Feng was pegging you and you were giving away classified secrets, dude, I don't want to hear shit. None of these people have a leg to stand on, a pot to piss in, a window to throw it out, and they're all goddamn liars. And yet here we are with all of them still in power. If this would have happened, like, I mean, I don't know, maybe 30 years ago, 40 years ago, there would have been a fucking military tribunal. And you know who went one of the first ones? Mark Milley, that piece of shit traitor. Holy shit. This motherfucker's a general? He committed treason multiple times with the shit he said, the lies he's propagated and pushed out. Yet here he is still in power. Why? Because the goddamn Republicans, outside of a few of them that I know they're trying to do the Lord's work, but they're rhinos. They're all right. They're controlled opposition. As I've said over and over and ad nauseum, it's the goddamn Globetrotters and the Washington Generals. Mm-hmm. And people still keep betting on the Generals for some reason.
The craziest thing about that January 6th stuff, if you look at a lot of that footage that they've released in verbatim, all of it, not just some of it, but you look at all of it, even the bad stuff that they've included. I've seen worse from people at Mardi Gras than I did at the Capitol that day.
Yeah.
It looked like Louisiana guided swamp tours with some of those people that they were running through the hallways.
Mm-hmm. The night the Lions clinched a playoff berth in 2012 in Detroit, You want to talk? That was an insurrection. I mean, mostly because they're not used to winning. But I mean, I was just down there going, "Fuck, I'm gonna tip over a car." Ah! You know, I mean, I didn't really tip over any cars, but no, it was. You like Tommy, you're right. Like, go look at when look at when a Philly team wins a championship or loses a champion. What happens? Go ahead. There's riots. That shit after pro sports games that are worse than the goddamn insurrection, my threat to my democracy, my democracy. And can I just acknowledge for a second that Rob Reiner, you senile fat motherfucker. Donald Trump ain't been president how many years now? Every day as he's scarfing down cheeseburgers and dip. Oh, I got Trump this time.
Well, they ain't stopping there anymore. If you've seen some of them, they're going back to Reagan now. And say it's all his fault.
If you watch some of the videos, you can see that they're not even walking outside of the ropes. People are walking down the narrow corridor, not touching the ropes or anything. It's like
the one guy, he picked up a coat rack.
Yeah, they're on a tour. It's what
they're picking stuff up and setting it back where it goes. These aren't terrorists, man.
Yeah, this isn't like the riots they had in Washington State.
No, this wasn't because a drug addict died of a fentanyl overdose.
I don't understand any of it. I mean, I'm glad and thankful that they finally released it. I don't understand how any of these people could sit there and judge these people without watching any of the footage. I don't see how any of the people that hid the footage, they should all be up on charges.
It's because they were partisan judges as well. But before we get back on the topic, I just want to say, Will, you have arrived because you have officially been memed, my friend. This from the Time Prophet. Can you help Will? Down on Will.
Oh, I love
Where's Lassie?
Yes.
Where's Lassie?
So
yes.
I gotta stop looking at the
I gotta tweet that out.
Down in a hole, and I don't know if I can be saved.
Oh, congratulations, Will. You got a meme.
All right, so I do want to talk about some of the awesome comments in the chat because we had a lot of people that were talking about some of this stuff. And Glinzer says Malice in the Palace was 3 times the J6.
Oh, dude, you don't. Shit, Ron Artest punching out fat Chicano Detroit fans, dude.
Yeah.
It happened. Front row, dude. Some big ass Mexican dude. I mean, big for normal people. Got up and Ron. Motherfuckers forget these NBA players are like 6'9". Dude stepped up to Ron Artest like, boom, just hits him. Guy goes down. It's like, well, that was quick.
I did see that look at his eyes though for the nanosecond when that basically said out that he wanted to say out loud, I immediately regret this decision, and he
when keeping it real goes wrong.
Yeah.
Wook says in Portland they toppled a statue that fell on some woman and smashed her skull into a puddle. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy.
That was on the
my
Mandalorian last week.
Let me find my fuck around and find out chart. Hang on.
Yeah. Tina says it might depend on the sport. Every time the Bulls won in the 90s, the city rioted. When the Cubs won the World Series after over 100 years, 5 million assembled with no riots. Yeah. And
that's because nobody on King Drive cares that the Cubs won.
I love it. Small Time Republic says Will is like baby
Oh, that's funny.
The look on
As
face
always, I am happy to entertain you.
Oh my God, this is great. This is great. You have
I would
arrived.
do this for free. Oh wait, I am.
You have arrived, my friend. But,
I've always wanted to be a meme.
But
I've been the butt of a joke many times, but now I'm officially a meme. It's all downhill from here.
Yeah, but
down the well, you mean?
Yeah. Oh, Janet.
Janet just dunked on him.
You guys
With all due respect, I love you to
interrupted
death,
me.
but you're reaching, honey.
Hey, Drew. Now you know what to get Will for Christmas next year: a basket full of lotion.
Yeah.
It puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again.
I'll get you a bucket.
For anyone who just joined the stream in the last 10 seconds, you have no context of what's going on.
No, you really don't.
Yeah,
There you
but
go.
Drew's
Here.
the
There
one
we
that needs
go.
to say it. Drew's gonna
Yep.
say,
We're really getting ourselves to bar
yeah,
graphs
put the
now. This
lotion
is,
on its skin, or I'm gonna give you my hose again.
Hey, look, the ratio to fuck around and
Yep.
find out.
Yep,
is-
good. Just solo me, Drew. Just solo me. Here we go. We've had the fuck around and find out ratio perfected here, and yes, the lady in Portland, she did indeed fuck around, and which led, of course, to inevitably her finding out. Which finding out meant having your skull crushed by a statue, which was toppled by a bunch of, I'm sure, third wave land whales with their hair dyed purple, half their head shaved, and bull rings in their nose. Probably some genital mutilation, I'm sure. They found out. They found out.
And they were showing off their flippers, which they laughingly refer to as tits.
It puts the fucking lotion in the basket.
Oh, Jesus. I love this, you guys. This is why not having an episode of UR made me sad last week. So I'm glad we came back because we more than made up for last week.
Hang on, I got another one.
I couldn't be any happier either.
You should change your name to Well. Change it.
Wells Fargo.
Change the skin. Wells Fargo will go far for you.
Now, I know I missed your 66th birthday last week. I'm sorry. You want to contribute some more jokes to this? Because I'm just trying to fall flat. We need to hear you.
Wait, hang on. I got one for you, Will. There you go, bud.
Okay. As always, I can't wait.
Did it switch?
Oh.
Did my picture switch? Hang on. I got I'm like 8 screens. There we go.
Put the fucking lotion on your skin, or else you get the hose again.
Okay.
Put it in the basket, bitch.
Put the lotion in the basket.
So when the Mexicans show up, are they going to be yelling, "You better not hurt my chihuahua"?
If you will excuse me, I'm going to
No,
go
it's-
pick up at
it's-
Walmart. I'll be right back.
It's look what he's doing to your dog, you see?
He's like, give me back my tamale.
Yeah.
Spending $150 million on cocaine would make sense.
Yeah, pretty much.
The following segment has been presented dong free by United Resistance.
Yeah,
Be
exactly.
sure to hit the like button and share out the link.
Exactly. But no, the narrative that was painted of the January 6th incident, the comparisons to Pearl Harbor, the comparisons to 9/11, absolutely ridiculous. And look, it further sheds the light that Ray Epps was an operative. It further sheds the light that what happened to the pipe bombers, the supposed pipe bombers. Where are they? There's so much to all of it, and I think
the record is skipping.
Yeah,
You were staring right into his eyes for a minute there. It was very.
Staring longingly.
Yeah.
It's interesting. His name is Buffalo Bill because they were showing the QAnon guy just walked around like he was on a tour. He was very kind. He picked up stuff and set it back down where it goes. They took all those insane pictures of him inside the Senate office or whatever.
Well, one of the videos that like a stupid woke ass publication, The Atlantic. You remember that video they put out even before all the and good night, Maria. Take care of yourself, dear. It's great seeing you, and thank you for being here. The thing is, when you see the video of him walking into it was the House chamber that he walked into, and
Right, to the speaker's chair.
The first thing that he sees is a guy like down that was in need of medical attention, and his first, Chansley's first reaction is, "Hey man, you all right? Are you sure? Do you need help?" and he asked the cop to assist the guy that's sitting there, that's hurt. And I mean, if this guy's an insurrectionist, why would he do that? The same thing with the same thing that I think with the stuff like where he's talking about it. There's video that shows that shows Chansley outside telling the crowd about Trump's tweet and that they should disperse.
I see people doing this on the street all the time.
Yeah.
It's just the fentanyl shuffling crew shuffling on down just for you. It's like the 85 Bears.
Doing the bent over sleep pose.
I can't breathe, baby, so I shuffle.
hey, a little context to the early story about the Mexicans on my property.
Good luck with this.
It looked like they were on fentanyl because, man, that lady looked like a space case. Her eyes were glassed over and everything. It was like so appropriate for this town. I swear.
They were knocking on your window and they're like, "Hey, Mister, you want some chiclets?"
Pretty much, Tommy. Pretty much.
It's like, hey man, let me in, man.
7-Eleven.
Oh God.
I don't care. That was a great one.
Big John makes a great point about Chansley. He said, "Would a person leading an insurrection lead people in prayer?" No, and that's the thing. Again, this was a fabricated. Oh, nice, ETEP. Nice.
Well, who was in charge of handing over the pertinent videos for each of the clients? When they were showing what they did and how horrible it was. Who was in charge of that? That person.
The Department of Justice and Merrick Garland had all this footage, and they wouldn't even give it to the January 6th defendants. They wouldn't give it to these people.
Yeah, they wouldn't give it to them because they knew it would make them all look like fools for even charging them for something.
Yes.
That's why. And they should all, is anybody going to be prosecuted for that?
No.
That's against the law. I mean, that's against the Constitution. The person has a right to a fair trial.
But the Constitution does not matter to these people, and
what can we do to make sure that it matters? Because it could have been you and it could have been me. And how do we know they're not going to do it to you and me now?
Honestly,
if they get away with it this time, they can make up anything they want.
Honestly, the only hope is, somehow we find a way because, and Wook makes it, Wook made the point earlier that voting doesn't matter. We have to try through the process that we have through voting. And if it doesn't work, then yes, it is up to the citizens. It is written in our Constitution that it is up to us to depose an authoritarian government. And if that's what it boils down to, then that's what it boils down to. But one way or the other, it's going to happen because these people do have to answer for this. They are circumventing.
I'm shocked that this isn't being talked about by every person. I mean, this could be any of us, any person sitting in their living room right now watching TV. It could be you. It could be you that's being railroaded by the government in a fake trial into saying you did whatever it is they want to say when there's video evidence that proves that you didn't do any of the things they say. That I can't believe everyone's not in uproar over that. I mean, what doesn't matter what side you're on, because you're an American citizen. You have the right to a fair trial with all the evidence, not just whatever the government chooses to let people see. That's what I don't understand why people are upset over that. I'm just shocked about that.
Small Time Republic says the problem is the people that have been in prison can't get 2+ years of their lives back. And that is a great point. But I want everybody to understand before we go around the panel and let everybody do their outro that we're going to have this strife continue. We are going to be persecuted just for being awake, just for being awake, just for saying we accept reality and we reject this manufactured reality and all of these psyops and all of the brainwashing. We reject that. And if you reject that, you will be painted as a threat. Mark my words. I can promise you that. It's already happened. January 6th proved that. So, that being said, let me go around the panel because I know we're closing in on 8:30. That is the witching hour. And I will start off with ETEP. And I think he has special correspondent Yuri Grabovich.
I went back to me because I knew we were getting close to sign out. So, yeah, Yuri will make appearance maybe on Holy Shit News tomorrow night. That's enough out of you, Yuri. All right. Yeah, it's me, ETEP. I'm back. Yeah, you can come on over and check out the Place to Be reviews. If you're not already a subscriber, I highly suggest you do so for entertaining content. I've been live streaming more, usually every day now, for about an hour to an hour and a half in the morning, just because I haven't had time to do videos because of my work schedule. So I've been doing that. We'll be back on with some more. We got a Monster Squad review coming up. What else? We have the 1988 Blob and the Richard Donner Superman, the original one. Plus, Gotham Knights is on tonight, and I miss the CW. I miss it like Floyd misses fentanyl. So I'll be reviewing Gotham Knights just for the hell of it because it's going to be a dumpster fire, and I can't wait. I'm here for it. So, yeah, come on over, subscribe, and just enjoy the content. Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, quick shout out to our goddess modest Trina. If you enjoy horror and NECA figures, subscribe to Trina's channel at youtube.com at Heroes in Horror. Tomorrow, I do believe it's tomorrow, we're going to be on there doing Frankenhooker. I'm looking forward to reviewing a classic movie with her. So that's going to be fun. And make sure that you check out her channel. Let's go over to our buddy Immortal Coil, who is a co-host of the Midnight Prism on Sunday.
What's happening, Savage friends? I appreciate it, each and every one of you coming out. I do want to float out this thought. There is a video going around on YouTube where they show instances of CNN footage where the camera fucks up and you can see the green screen on supposedly live feeds. A lot of the shit is manufactured, and it should not surprise you when things like this come to light. You can find me Tuesdays right here on Drew's channel. You can also find me Sunday nights on the magnificent program, The Midnight Prism, where we go and ask questions of the paranormal kind, hopefully to broaden your mind. Sunday nights, I also do my own broadcast, Savage Spirituality, where we go a little bit deeper into that sort of thing if you're into the spooky Sunday night kind of shit. I'm also cooking up something with Trina. We'll figure something out, and appreciate you coming out, you guys. Take it easy.
All right, I'm going to move over to everybody's favorite house guest, the well baby, the baby Jessica 2.0, and that is Will.
That's me, Will, the house guest, still in the closet, staying there. Seeing as we run late tonight, I will make it short. Just going back to something Drew said earlier, actually piggybacking on it, it is not just a certain. Let's start again. A certain founding father once said, "Not only is it our right to take over the government, to overthrow the government when they become tyrannical, it is our duty, it is our obligation to do so." And hey, Ma, I'm a meme. I made it. Love you.
You've arrived.
All right. Let's go over to the lovely Janet from another planet.
Well, thank you for having me again tonight, Drew. I only do shorts basically on my channel, and I also am reading my book. in like bite-sized pieces. It's about vampires, witches, warlocks, and archangels and familiars. It's called Revelation. And on Monday night, Bruce and I will be reviewing the movie The Prestige, starring Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale. And on Tuesday night, I'll be back here, hopefully.
Bowie is Tesla.
Thank you. Oh, yeah.
All right. And last but not least, the Devil Pig, Mr. Tommy of the Guinea Pig Collective.
I am here for your soul. You can give it up willingly, or I will take it by force. Either way, you shall give yourself up to the Guinea Pig Collective. Hey, everybody, what's going on? Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. Still doing a lot of shorts. That seems to be the thing that's actually getting attention on YouTube, so we're still filling the gaps with all that stuff. Working on regular videos and trying to work on other things like outros and other stuff like that. We're just so damn busy. We only have 4 Pauls apiece, so it takes a while to get to all this stuff. But we're having a lot of fun. We just ran another live BattleBot stream. That was a lot of fun. We had Stieg and Trina and Vinny stop in for that one. Just a blast to actually play with those things because they're so much like the ones that I see on TV with the regular BattleBot show. So if you want to stop by and see what all that is about, we here at the Guinea Pig Collective appreciate that, and we appreciate all the people that have already subscribed, have already stopped by and watched all the content. They just pushed us over 1,500 subs. I am dead set in the belief that I will probably hit 2,000 subs before I ever get monetization because YouTube just despises me. I am the most hated guinea pig on YouTube for a reason. But guys, thank you for being here. Thanks to all the wonderful people on the panel I have a chance to always talk to whenever I have a chance to be up here and hang out with all of you. Remember, guys, never let anybody tell you what you can and can't say, what you should or should not watch, because your silence gives consent. We're going to get your soul.
All right, folks, listen, I want to say thank you again for checking out the stream. And thank you to everyone that has continued to help out, support the channel, and also help out in a time of need because, this move has been really hard on me. This last year has been really hard on me with losing Mom. If you want to continue to support that effort, givesendgo.com/Taylor Home Project, and you can help the Give Send Go there. We only have $350 to go on that. And don't forget, if you want to enter that raffle for the Yaphet figurine from Andy Masterson, make sure that you check out the Midnight Prism this Sunday when we have our raffle. So take care, and we will see you for sure on the next show. So until next time, take care of yourself. Take care of each other, man. We love you, folks. Peace.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, hi, Coast Casino.
Hey, welcome to Sporking News Podcast. My name is Scott.
I'm E. Temple Queen of the Place to Be Reviews.
I am the Patriot, Drew Taylor, aka Supreme Heretic.
The Red Gaze on YouTube, at the Red Gaze on Twitter.
What up, what up, what up?
Hello, everybody. It's me, Vinny.
The voice of Immortal Coil.
Oh, hey, I am the Ghost Bear. What's going on, Tommy? And get anybody to like that?
Yeah, I'm Wes Moody of the Wes Moody Webcast.
Tony, Death, rockin'.
Hey, we have a lot of cool things over there. I did some magic tricks.
Hi, guys. Try to stay here.
My name is Monkey Knight.